Two episodes back to back of lightsabers that have never made their way through here. But this one, unlike Darth Vader, which we've reviewed other Darth Vader ones, this has never come through here. This is the brand new Quinlan Vos lightsaber. Let's get at it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collector's Outpost. I am John. So today we're taking a look at the brand new Quinlan Vos lightsaber. Now this has been here for a little bit, but I delayed the video for it for a bit because they went back and they changed this whole crystal chamber section. Thank you, because the version that came first was so cheap and flimsy and so loud that the video I would have made on that would have been terrible. I would have just ripped the whole crystal chamber apart. Now I'll show you that, because unfortunately I did hear that a bunch of you out there did get that other version, and then the update came just after that, and some of you said, oh, you got stuck with the black chamber version, which is, it is unfortunate. You know, they'll release a lightsaber and then they go back within 2 or 3 weeks and they redesign the whole thing, and I've got the old version that I'm reviewing. I put a video out and you guys get a totally different version. So that's why I wanted to postpone this a little bit, because I knew Artsabers did tell me that the other version was updated. I have that version here and I'll show you that too. But before we dig on into this, I want to thank Artsabers for sending this on over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link down below and a discount code for you if you want to check this out and everything else over at Artsabers. And hey, if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by for a lightsaber unboxing video. Please help me out with a like, subscribe, and hit that notification button for all upcoming videos that I have. I've got a lot of lightsabers to come. Trips to toy cons, some vlog videos here and there, and I think you'll enjoy all that stuff. And as always, a special thank you to all my YouTube channel members for all your extra support. Thank you guys so much. All right, let's dig on into this unboxing. So over on Artsabers, when you're looking at lightsabers, you can pick them up with or without a blade. And what we're gonna use today is the ultra bright blade. So let's put this aside for a second and see everything else that it comes with. We got a USB drive to pop your SD card into if you want to add some extra sound fonts. We have a full manual. This is a Xeno V3, and you can use the Xeno Configurator app with this to do all your configurations. Good Lord. We have a USB-C to USB charging cable, some Allen keys, and some extra retention screws. And you'll also get a display stand, which will look like this when you put it together. Nice acrylic stand. And you'll also get a blade pug a blade pug. Jesus, my brain is fried. You'll get a blade plug. These are one of those turbine ones. They're pretty standard, and you can pop that on in there. Now, Quinlan is a really cool character. We've seen him in Clone Wars, but if you've read the book Dark Disciples, Quinlan and Ventress are the main characters in that book, and it is a fantastic book. Now, if you watched Tales of the Underworld, you'll see Quinlan, Obi-Wan, and Ventress, and that basically picks up right where the book Dark Disciple ends. But anyway, this Quinlan lightsaber has a little trick. We have the crystal chamber here, but you can also close the chamber. So what you gotta do is go around back here, undo the Allen screw here, and you have to pull off the red button. So let's unscrew this. So what you'll notice now is that the whole top section here is free. So you just turn this bad boy around to realign, because it'll have an opening for the button on this side and an opening for the button on that side. So you just flip that thing around and you can reinsert all your screws. So it's a cool little trick that this has. So you can display it open or close. If you want to display it with the open crystal, and then when you want to use it, close it up. That's a really cool option that this has. Now, let me show you a version that some of you did get, because you did tell me that you got it and you were a little disappointed when it was updated. But here is the black chamber section. Let me zoom on in here as much as I can. This was kind of, you know, it was just like a cheap 3D print, and I was actually really surprised that this is how LGT released this. So you've got like a nice brass one here, but this version that they first released, you know, a bunch of you did get, was just plastic. You can see, like, this was, it's all plastic, you know, and these ribs, you know, they bend. And then the other problem I had with the black version was the chamber was so loud. It just squeaked. Talking about hamster wheel, this one is so much quieter versus the original one. Now, this is the new version with that brass chamber section here. So this is the squeak that you get out of here, which is very, very smooth. This is about what I would expect from a chamber. I mean, it's moving parts, so it's going to have sound to it. Now here was the one that some of you got with the black chamber. And weirdly enough, these chambers, the spinning speed is tied into the brightness of the blade. And the same font on the new brass version. It's still, again, tied into the brightness, so it does fluctuate, but it's so much more smooth and pleasant to hear versus like, and yes, they are both fully charged batteries. So I do want to thank Artsabers for sending over the updated version. They immediately were on it. As soon as they found out that this chamber was updated, they sent me a picture and they said, we are sending you over the new one immediately. Now digging on the inside, this is the newer Xeno V3 core. So it sounds so nice. We've got the USB charging port right there, our 18650 battery. Flip it right around the other side, we have our SD card, and core, of course, is lined with LEDs like usual. So when you pop the blade on, you may notice that you might have to insert 2 of the Allen screws here, which came in that little tool bag. And usually there's a couple of different sizes. There's longer ones, usually like, you know, one for the back there, and then there's shorter ones, usually for over here. So we just got to pull out, here's a shorter one. So again, just make sure that you're using the shorter ones so that when you put the blade in, the screws aren't actually poking out, they're actually inside the emitter. Okay, so we got the blade on and we're gonna pull open our Xeno configurator app and just make sure that the blade and everything is configured and that the firmware in here is updated, because I'm not sure I did anything yet. All right, so open up our app here and connect to our lightsaber. And then the first thing I'm gonna do is go over to the last page just to check up on our firmware. See if we're up to date on here. All right, so we do have an update available, so let's update that. That should only take about a minute. But while that's updating, this is the book I was talking about here, Dark Disciple. We have Ventress and Quinlan over there. This is a great book. I do really recommend reading this book. You can get it on, Audible and stuff like that, but this is a really, really good story. I enjoyed this one a lot.
Update successful.
All right, so that only took like 2 minutes or so. Now, when the update is finished, it does turn everything off, so you have to return everything back on. And we are connected. And now let's go over to the second page and set my blade size. Now, these ultra bright blades are 32 inches. So I'm gonna go over here to my main blade length, and I'm gonna turn that down to 115. All right. And make sure that my countdown is on. Now the countdown is that extra beep on the menu on the hilt itself. That way, if you're not using the app, you know where you are when you're flipping through the 4 different menus. And just a quick rundown of the app, just in case you're new to the lightsabers. Up on top, we have our battery life, which I wouldn't fully rely on, but it gives you a good estimate of where you are. 3 different color variations to change. We have the whole controller, which will do everything live. Let me turn this on, which will do everything live. Now, what I was saying, the spinning of the chamber is tied into the brightness. So when you turn this down, you're basically turning down the speed here as well. You can turn it up a little bit more, and then you can see it start spinning. Turn that up a little bit more. So if you have any type of flickering, let's say like a flicker blade, that will affect what's going on here. Now, so I originally thought that when you have chambers like this that spin, you were going to be able to control that with motor speed. And that doesn't seem to be the case with any of the chambers just yet. For whatever reason, they're tied into the brightness. So I haven't found a way of turning the chamber off if you did want the chamber to be off while you're using the lightsaber. Let's turn the volume up down here on the side.
High volume.
All right, and on this side here on the right, you have all your auditions. Clashes, Blaster Deflex, lock up, tip drag, and of course your force effect. Now in the app, when I turned on the countdown in the second menu page, that basically added an extra beep on the menu. So when I'm not using the app, I can kind of get through this home menu super easy. So 1 is volume. So
medium volume, low volume, use, high volume.
2 beeps
Unstable.
is our blade effect.
Rainbow blade.
3 beeps is your ignition styles.
Broken ignition. Photon ignition.
So 4 beeps is forwards on fonts.
The sun. The Dark Empress.
And if you missed a font, you want to go back, hold upside down, and twist counterclockwise.
The sun. The Third Hunter.
All right, you can even change the color on the fly too in 3 different ways, just like the app. You're gonna hold upside down, hold your button, and twist clockwise or counterclockwise. So this is counter.
Color change.
All right, this is gonna do that hard hitting of the colors, which is pretty quick. All right,
Color select.
set that in by hitting the button. You can go clockwise.
Color change.
That's gonna do the, this is basically gonna put it into like a twist, like Profi. Let's go to a green, set that
Color
in.
selected.
And then you can also just hold the button for a 2 count while it's on.
Color change.
And that's gonna go into that infinite color where it just kind of scrolls slowly through the colors. Now, you know, so the cool thing about having a chamber that actually closes, when you're spinning around, you don't have to worry about getting your finger caught in there. You could just undo the screw there and twist the whole thing around and it's all enclosed. I love that. We do have twist on and twist off. Blaster through flex, flash on clash. Got our lock up.
The Dark Lord Order.
All right, my friends, that is about it. This is the Quinlan Vos Xeno V3 from the folks over at Artsabers. Thank you, Artsabers, so much for sending this over for everybody to check out. I'll put a direct link and discount code for everybody down in the description if you want to check this out. Let me know what you think of the Quinlan Vos lightsaber down below in the comments. And while you're down there, do help me out. Hit that like, subscribe, and notification button for upcoming videos. And thank you so much to my YouTube channel members for your extra support. You guys are amazing. All right, I will see you all on the next video. Be safe and kind out there in the world. See ya.